Welcome to Amateur Hour here at DistractionAction. I'm your host, me. It's me. I am the host, so it's me. Um, yeah, I know what you're thinking. Like, man, why again? Again? Yes, again. We're going to go live, and I'm going to read you a story, which it's more fun than that. Mm. Um, I'm doing all the hard work. You just sit back and take it. So real quick, I've done this before. I get in front of a camera. That's as wild as it gets over here. But this story is a little bit different. This is one of my favorite stories in that little book that I wrote. It is the last story in the book, so theoretically, it's one of the better ones. You should close with a strong story. I don't know if I did or did not. I'm going to read it to you. You be the judge of that. The name of this one is called Pass the Super Salad. Yeah, we're just going to dive right in. I've written so many things on so many topics, I was fearful I may have emptied myself. Sometimes my muse whispers compliments. Often, she just remains unimpressed and berates me. And I write steadily all the while. Lately, she has been screaming, and my output has grown to match her pitch. But I've hit a wall. 25 pages in a few hours just a week ago? No sweat. 1 or 2 paragraphs now? Impossible. I thought perhaps she had lost her voice altogether, poor thing. So I went searching for a topic. As a Gemini, and more so as just me, I'm looking for something with some depth. You know my thoughts on the mundane. Not only am I not interested in it, I'm distraught by even the suggestion of it. I played some music. No luck. I even tried to listen to songs that make me think about stuff. I'd built a playlist of songs I'd share daily, and these songs usually inspire some sort of emotion. And they still kind of did, but it was a bit muted. I danced, but my heart wasn't in it. I danced with my kids. Well, they just thought I looked silly. I started reading Marcel Proust. Swann's Way held promise of inspiration, though I was struggling to connect to it. This is delightful. I'm becoming neurasthenic. All right, Mr. Proust, I like this. What else you got? In his younger days, a man dreams of possessing the heart of the woman whom he loves. Later, the feeling that he possesses the heart of a woman may be enough to make him fall in love with her. Oh, yeah, that's the stuff. Except it wasn't. Not this time. I'm tapped out, Marcel. I'm spent. The well run dry. Old big brown bedroom eyes over here has oversexed his sweet little muse. It was casual at first, exploratory sex. And then it got serious and a little more aggressive. And then it got stale, so I had to spice it up some. And she was already so exhausted by then. And the passion was gone, but my appetite. And get up on this table, babe. Let's just go again, and again, and again. She scratched, I'd bite, and it was all in good fun. I fucked my muse to death. I don't know if it's permanent, so now I'm stuck mentally masturbating and I have writer's block, which is the literary version of erectile dysfunction. So, having tucked her into bed, kissing her cold forehead and promising I'd be back, my appetite, I went off on my own to find something to inspire me, and without her, I was at a loss. Finally, in a desperate final attempt, I thought by searching the web for suggested writing topics, I might find something to inspire and motivate. I thought wrong. All I found was an abundance of lame. In searching for a topic to write about, I came upon so many cliched suggestions, and none of them moved me. Do you believe in magic? Why or why not? What if you lived in the time of dinosaurs? Have you ever been in love? No, fuck a card trick. Who cares? Fuck the Flintstones. Ever been in love? Have you even been paying attention? The exhibitionist emotional masochist has no interest in goddamn dinosaurs. Not even magic dinosaurs. Should such a thing exist? Now, if you want to talk about an emotionally unstable stegosaurus, maybe I can dig it, but barring that. And then something caught my eye. Do you have any embarrassing stories? If so, what are they? Well, just so happens I do have an embarrassing anecdote or two. Stuff I should be too embarrassed to share. And that fits in well with my whole TMI shtick. And perhaps my muse would get a laugh out of it. Okay, let's do it. The following is a collection of bloopers, missteps, and generally awkward moments that I have orchestrated in the past, as best as I can remember them. When I was a kid, probably about 7 or 8 years old, I made a discovery one morning. A discovery that would change not just my future, but possibly the future of the world. I discovered I had been endowed with a special ability, unique to me and me alone. If I focused hard enough, I could move my body in a way I hadn't seen anywhere else. I could walk backwards. My prepubescent mind raced with questions and possibilities. How come I had never seen anyone do this before? Was I the only one in the country? The world? The universe? Was I even human? And what repercussions would I be facing should I share my gift? I was convinced that I could reverse time itself if I could walk backwards quickly enough. Again, I had not seen this done before, and being of that age, you only know to be real what you have seen with your own eyes. So, I very much believed that this had never been done before, and only I, special as I was, could bring this gift to the world. I was very eager to share my gift with mankind. Such a good boy, that little Rabio. I ran out of my room and quickly found my mother in the upstairs bathroom. I announced my finding and told her I'd like to demonstrate the modern-day miracle that had been bestowed upon me. She was putting her makeup on in the bathroom mirror and didn't seem to be all that impressed with the idea of my newfound superpowers. I'll show her. Watch me, woman, and bow before your god of a son. Know my power and fear my intellect. I walked backwards down the hallway, slowly and with purpose, much like Jesus had walked on water. I heard my mother tell me to be careful. Lowly front-face walker. Do you have any idea what this means? Can your mortal brain even begin to comprehend the power? I walk outside the constrictive laws of nature. I walk outside the boundaries of space and time. I walk through the hearts and souls of all. I walk backwards. And so I did. I walked backwards right off the landing to the second floor hallway stairs. I tumbled all the way down the stairs to the first floor, and it seemed like I was falling forever. By my count, we must have had about 230 some odd stairs. I wasn't hurt, but I was crying. My budding ego had certainly felt the pain in every step I tumbled off of. My mom rushed down the stairs. Oh, good, she's walking forward. She'd never be able to handle walking backwards. And she scooped me up to comfort me. With great power comes great responsibility. I seldom walk backwards these days, as a power like that cannot be wielded without consequence. But late at night, while my wife and kids sleep, I may walk backwards through the house, protecting all that I love and hold dear. Superhuman strength may come with a superhuman weakness. And mine? Women. Sophomore or junior year of high school, I'm at a party at a friend's house. Amongst the crowd are two women I have a crush on. I have flirted with these two women individually over the course of the last week or two, and both women seem ready to submit to my charms, but neither one knows about the other one. Seeing them both at the party gave me pause. On one hand, whatever was going to happen between us was going to happen tonight. But on the other hand, with them both being here, which one would I choose? And should one find out about the other, I run a very high risk of losing them both. And why on earth would I just pick one woman when I could have two? So I decided, in all my sexually charged hubris, that I would attempt the impossible. I'd defy the odds and snag them both. Double or nothing, folks. Here we go. So I do my best to keep them separated. I run in one room to flirt with one and then offer to grab a drink for her and I. I then run outside and flirt with the other one before offering to grab some food for the two of us. Run back in, remember to grab the drinks, and get back to the first one. Flirt, run back. I'm doing laps around this hormonal racetrack, and it's working. Both women are responding well to my advances, and it feels just about time to strike. I step outside for a congratulatory cigarette and contemplate which one to take first and where to take her. It never occurred to me how ready each one really was, because next thing I know, the first girl steps outside to find me, and the second girl steps outside to find me, and the two of them together find me. All my two-timing quickly comes to light, and neither one is happy about it. I misplace my cool in all of this and start backpedaling. I start panicking. I start losing them. And oh, I was so close. Opportunity knocks, or rather, beeps a car horn. One of the girl's father is here to pick her up. Perfect. She'll leave, and that will give me the chance to patch it up with the other girl, hopefully on the bathroom sink. I'll tell her tonight that she's the one I really wanted, and then in a few days, I'll tell old second place that I wish she had stayed at the party because she's the one I really wanted. I can still pull both. Double or nothing, mofo. Goddamn, I'm slick. So, with a smile the size of my ego, I tell the first girl that her father's here to pick her up. You should hurry, babe. Don't want to keep your dad waiting. Girl one, with no warning at all, promptly starts bawling her eyes out. I was stunned by the tears, but then suddenly remember that girl number one's father had passed away a week ago, or so. What I don't know is that she's been having a hard time with his death and only came to the party to see me and get her mind off of it all. My advances the past week or so had really helped to make her feel better, and she had mistaken me for the nice guy I had perpetuated to be. As some other girl comes out of the house to catch her ride home, my girl runs to her friends for consolation. And I start to seriously wonder if I just blew my chances. While girl one is still sobbing, I make my way back to girl two. So, can I show you something in the bathroom real quick? No, I cannot. She tells me I'm a monster and goes to the group of girls consoling girl one. They all stop long enough to give me a look of disgust that I can still remember to this day. Double or nothing, and I ended up with nothing. Another few years later, and I'm moving in on my latest crush. Me and my friends decide to go to a nearby lake for some summer fun, and she's going with us. I'm very much into this girl, but she's proving harder to land. I'm stubborn, though, and refuse to give up the chase. We get to the lake, and she takes off her shirt and her pants, and she's rocking the two-piece bathing suit, and God, she looks good. No, ma'am, I'm not giving up the chase. This lake has an embankment along the side, and way up that embankment, there's a rope swing. And what could be more fun? Old rope swing by the Valley Lake. Sounds like something out of a Pepperidge Farm commercial. So much so that if I should ever do the audiobook, I will do that last part in a very Pepperidge Farm-esque voice. Promise made, promise delivered. One by one, everybody takes turns swinging off the rope and plunging into the lake. When it's her turn, I watch intently. She swings out over the lake, and when she lets go of the rope, it's like time froze for a moment. She was suspended in air, and I could see everything with such clarity. Her long, blonde hair in the sun. On that day, her long blonde hair was the sun. Her body was tanning from the summer days she was spending outside, and, to top it all off, her bathing suit top was not doing a good job of keeping everything covered, as she was practically spilling out of the thing. My cup runneth over. I shan't give up the chase. I'm playing cool, sitting by the edge of the embankment. She asks me if I'm going to swing. I tell her I would, but I can't swim. She seems disappointed. She emerges from the water and is standing close enough for me to make out each individual water drop on her stomach. I shield my eyes from the sun and look up. Bathing suit top is practically in my mouth. I decide I am going to swing after all. I mean it though. I swim like I took professional lessons from a rock. And I know I'm not going from David Dunn to Aquaman in just one afternoon. I think of all this as I climb the embankment up to the rope swing. I look out over the water. I estimate myself to be roughly about a good 30,000 feet or so above everybody. I'm going to die today, there's no question. I'll hit the water and die. They're going to have to tell my parents. What'll happen to my CD collection? Why did I agree to do this? What was I thinking? She waves up to me from down below in the water. Her top is jiggling. I grab that fucking rope and swing out as hard as I can. While mid-swing, time seems to slow and I have a moment to take it all in. The beauty of the lake, the warm summer breeze and all the sounds and smells that accompany it. The feeling of absolute freedom up here in the air. The beauty that awaits for me in the water. I can see her even from all the way up here, and now I have tunnel vision. And as I swing out closer to her, my vision narrows. I thought it was a case of summer romance, and it was her smiling face I'd find at the end of the tunnel, but no. My vision narrows until I can only see her breasts. And they are calling out to me. My God, how has she been hiding these things for so long? I'm coming for you, my lovelies. I'm going to Tarzan my way over to you and dive right in. And I shall spend my days swimming in between those two big, beautiful... Wait a minute. I can't swim. And as I swing out over the center of the lake, I realize it's the center of the goddamn lake. Everybody yells from down below, "Let go!" I had somehow swung through time. I'd gone back to just before puberty, and my voice cracked when I yelled back, "I can't swim!" I swing back in towards the embankment. I'm swinging way too fast to let go, though. I'm clinging to the rope for dear life. I swing back out over the lake again. Again, I'm told to let go. Again, I refuse. And I start swinging back towards the embankment for the second time, except now I'm coming back in on an angle. I see the tree hurtling towards me. Obviously, I can't block it with my hands because I'm holding the rope, so I block it with my body. I crash into the tree full force. Good news is, this immediately stops the momentum from the swing. Bad news is, it also loosens my grip on the rope before I can find my footing. The rope slips out of my hand and I tumble down the embankment. Rocks, roots, and all other sharp and jagged things of nature tear at me while I roll down. I land in the water. I sink to the bottom faster than you can say, "Pass the Milanos." My friend comes and pulls me out, drags me to the shallow edge of the lake. I lay there, scratched, bloodied, panting, coughing, and wheezing. Miss Crush comes over to see if I'm okay. She looks slightly amused. She also looks slightly ashamed. Ashamed for me. I'll never live this down. This was the most embarrassing thing ever. And I've blown whatever chance with her I might have had. This was so not worth it. As she leans in to help me up, her breasts are all up in my face. Totally worth it. Luckily, that time nobody got seriously hurt, because old Robbie O likes to play with fire. A woman had caught my eye at work. She must have terrible vision, though, because for some reason I could not seem to catch hers. One day, this lovely lady comes over to my desk to see me about some work-related issue. I figure this is my chance to lay the groundwork for future romance. I have a foolproof 20-step plan, and today I will be implementing the ever-so-important 6th-step. This is the one that can make or break the whole thing. Using a combination of body language, mental telepathy, and raw sexual energy, I'll be sending out potent waves of invisible magnetism. I will not only draw her eyes, but ultimately her heart as well. I channel my charisma, I channel my chi, I channel the life force pulsating from my libido, and I push it all down to my spirit dick. And in my mind, I flick the safety off. She's directly in front of me. I slowly lean back in the chair. I'm aiming. I lean back further. I could feel the vibrations from all the energy. Get ready, doll. This thing is about to blow your tits off. I lean too far back and promptly fall out of the chair. She laughs. She's laughing at me, not with me, because I'm not laughing at all. My shot goes wide and bounces off some metal railings. It grazes a nearby coworker, who immediately falls in love with me, breaks a window or two, and ultimately ends up blowing a hole through the roof. I've no idea where that shot went or how far it traveled, though I fear the worst. Later the next day, I saw a news story about an unexplained phenomenon that had caused 4 pregnant whales to wash up dead on the shore of the Japanese coastline. Scientists were baffled as to the cause, though they thought it to be a catastrophe born of sexual energy not measurable by standard means. May God have mercy on my soul. How about a dinner story to lighten the mood? A buddy of mine from Bridgeport, Connecticut has made the 40-minute drive to come hang out with me in Seymour. We decide to grab a bite. We go to the Sandwich Man, which is a pretty decent local eatery. Well. Guess who our waitress is? Just so happens it's a girl that I've had my eye on. She's a year or two above me in high school, and though I'm quite the ladies' man normally, if you haven't been paying attention, I find while in school I'm just unable to make conversation. We joke around a bit, and we've given each other nicknames, but I'm too shy to actually flirt with her. But I found my mojo since I saw her last. I'm giving her the eyes, sending out waves of raw sexual, oh yeah, you already know that trick. Anyway, I catch a bit of a vibe off of her. Perhaps my newfound confidence is doing the trick. My plan is to flirt with her throughout the meal, over dessert, and when she brings the bill, I'll get her phone number. Perhaps we'll go somewhere after the place closes for the night. I'm feeling good. No mistakes this time. I got it in the bag. She comes to the table, and step 1 is about to commence. I place the dinner order, and I do so using my patented sexy voice. The couple in the booth behind us start making out. A baby stops crying in the booth across from us. An elderly woman blushes and asks for her check. Someone drops a full tray of dishes. Jesus wept. My sexy voice is on point. Everything is going well until she asks me if I want a super salad with my meal. I say, yes, that'll be fine. She asks me again. Again, I say yes. She smiles sexily and says, yes. I'm foreplaying the shit out with my eyes and say, yes. She starts to look impatient. Super salad? I'm becoming impatient myself. Yes. She's not smiling now. I'm not foreplaying anymore. Through clenched teeth, she asks, "Super salad?" I clench right back. "Sounds delightful." With hate in her eyes, she asks again, "Super salad?" With hate in my soul, I reply, "Yes, please." This goes on for some time. The couple in the booth behind us start punching each other in the face. A baby shits itself in the booth across from us. An elderly woman cackles and runs off without paying her check. Someone starts throwing dishes against the wall. Judas kissed Jesus. I turn it over in my head. Super salad. What doesn't she understand? Thinking about it some more. Super salad. Well, at this point, she's not even worth my eye game. One more time. Soup or salad? I don't even like salad. I'd rather have soup. And it comes to me. After 10 minutes of us debating, the look of sheer disgust on her face finally makes sense. She's been asking if I want soup or salad. And I've been answering, yes, and giving her a hard time about it. There's no reconciling this. I've got no way to undo the damage done. I'll have the soup, and can we get it to go? These are just some of the major embarrassments. I've had plenty of minor ones along the way as well. Every gym class I ever showed up to from kindergarten to senior year was an embarrassment. Every first date, every first kiss, every crush I've ever had was embarrassing or awkward to some degree. The woman I would eventually marry is the only one I can think of where I hadn't done something to embarrass myself. I showed her plenty of silly while we were dating, but it was mostly the good kind. I met Louis C.K. once. This was right around the time they'd canceled his show on HBO. He was doing a set at Caroline's Comedy Club in New York City. I botched the introduction, made it awkward when I asked for a photo, and accidentally insulted him. I did this as a fan. You were talking to, so to speak, a guy who managed to mess up his first time getting laid. Me and my girlfriend at the time are upstairs in a bedroom at a friend's house, and it's about to go down. I go to use a condom, like the responsible young man that I was. I unroll the whole thing, and then try to stuff myself into it. Obviously, that didn't work. Probably because my impressive length and staggering girth is just too much to be contained by the average rubber. Although, another popular theory is you're not supposed to unroll the whole fucking condom. And of course, I'm getting flustered, and she's laying there unfulfilled before I even get the chance to disappoint her. And the room feels like it just got 20 degrees warmer, and I'm losing my focus. My focus is not as hard as it was prior. Ultimately, I tell her that I want her first time to be special. I mean, I'm ready to go, but I understand if she wants to wait. And I practically run out of the room before she can answer. So embarrassed was I that I broke up with her shortly thereafter. Oh, I hope she's not watching. And finally, earlier I may have talked about my swimming prowess, remember? I can sink to the bottom of any body of water. Any water at all, actually. I could drown in the kitchen sink if I'm not careful. I stay far away from bottled water, just in case. If it's raining too heavy outside, it could very well be the end of me. Not that I'm scared to die, mind you. Not at all. I'm not looking to go anytime soon, of course, but when it happens, I view death in the same way as Buck Dharma. I don't fear the Reaper. Because I've drowned before, and I almost died. And it was beautiful. I was young, probably around 12 years old. My family and I had traveled to Vermont to meet up with some family coming to visit from Canada. I love all that side of the family, but seldom get to see them. So this was great, as it was both a reunion and vacation all at the same time. I can't remember what hotel we were staying at, but this hotel had a pool. A pool was something you didn't see much of in Bridgeport, Connecticut. This was my first time in a pool, and I could definitely see what all the fuss was about. Pools are fun. I can splash. I can move in slow motion under the water. I can check out girls that may also be in or around the pool. The one thing I can't do in a pool? Swim, because I don't know how. But I get bored easily. I splished and splashed for a while, but was now out of ideas. It would appear that swimming might be the main attraction in a swimming pool. Suddenly, I have an idea. I remember that I am the same stuntman who had mastered the art of walking backwards. I am accustomed to defying the odds, and tonight will be no different. I want to test myself. I need to prove myself, learn what I'm made of. Plus, there's a girl over there. I'm pretty sure she's a teenager. Oh my God, she has breasts. Ah, boobies. The bane of my existence. Swimming or not, I'm determined I can make it to the deep end. I thought I would be the first non-swimmer to ever do so. Present-day me realizes this was walking backwards off of the goddamn stairs all over again. Holding on to the edge of the pool wall, I shimmy over to the deep end and back. No sweat. I just broke some world record, I'm sure, and it was easy. But little Miss Teenager over there wasn't watching, so I go back and forth again and again. And she is either playing hard to get, or she just never turns to witness the miracle I am bestowing upon her. She must not have heard who I am or how I get down. Well, I'll show her. But for my next trick, I need to learn more about this pool. How far can I go before the water gets too deep? I'll learn my limits and go from there. So I start in the shallow end and center myself between the walls of the pool, and I start walking forward. Naturally, the water gets deeper. I'm up to my stomach, then up to my chest. Now I'm hopping along as it's quite deep. Looks like I can make it up to about the middle of the pool, right around where the rope was, without having to actually swim. Water is up to my neck, almost my chin. I'm thinking I should turn around and go back to more shallow waters. I do one fine hop forward, and my feet never touch the bottom. Fuck me, where did the bottom go? Prior to this moment, I didn't know that pools had a slope to them. I figured it out while sinking down to the bottom of the pool. I opened my mouth to yell for help, but I'm underwater. Opening my mouth was not at all helpful. I float back up to the top, and instead of yelling for help, I'm coughing on all the water I just drank. I sink again, and once again, my panicking mouth opens to yell. Again, I drink a bunch of pool water. And when I float back to the top, I am again coughing and wheezing. I sink back down. I float back up. I'm stuck at the bottom. I have a funny feeling. More a certainty than a feeling, really. I'm feeling fairly certain I'm going to die. I make one last-ditch attempt to learn how to fucking swim right now. No bueno. My arms are flailing. My eyes are squeezed shut in terror. I'm praying to God in every single name I know of. And suddenly, I'm not. I'm not panicked anymore. I'm surprisingly calm. Everything feels so relaxed. I'm not flailing. I'm not praying. I don't even mind it. I open my eyes. The water is changing, and it's beautiful. It's not blue like I thought it would be. It's almost like a grayish color. And the gray is deepening. I'm watching the color of the water darken, and I feel fine. So peaceful. And then the water gets brighter. It's not a deepening gray anymore. It's becoming brighter, for lack of a better term. Years later, I went with my wife for her first ultrasound, and the doctor had placed that magic baby stick, that's the technical term, I believe, on her stomach. And via the monitor, her insides flooded with light, and I saw my son inside of her. And I cried. And this wasn't the slow tear roll out of one eye. No, sir, I cried like a bitch. Wept, as it were. It was the shock of seeing my soon-to-be firstborn, But it was more than seeing my son, it was seeing life. And for as many words as I've spent within this story, it's hard for me to find the words to describe that light. The way it looked as it illuminated the insides of my wife, and the similar way it appeared to illuminate the water around me at the bottom of that pool. And they looked so similar. The flooding of light. Life is beautiful, and so is death. Why would anyone fear such a thing? I've been underwater for quite some time, and it's okay. I'm not scared. I'm not fighting it. There's a beautiful light down here, and I want to stay with it. Matter of fact, I think I will. And as soon as I had accepted it all, welcomed it, really, I felt myself being pulled up and out of the water. Remember the teenage object of my affection? Homegirl in to pull me out. For the briefest of moments, I was disappointed. And then I felt relief, and shortly thereafter, embarrassment. I resigned to stay in the shallow end after that, and as I watched my little Baywatch babe over by the hot tub, I felt disappointed. I almost died trying to impress this girl. Not worth it. And then she turned, saw me watching her, and she smiled at me. I smiled and waved at her breasts. Totally worth it. Every time. The end? That's it. That's the end.